Just one moment. I want to bring up two people here that will express their thanks and make a few remarks. I'm going to pull rank on Dr. Walter Sobolev. I haven't even talked to him, but I'm going to do this on my own. And maybe he'll pull my per diem, I don't know, but what the heck. This time I'd like to have Clarence Jackson and Ronald John Sr. come up on the platform, please.
Okay, this is my uncle here. He's Kake people. His Tlingit name is Kake. I have an aunt over there, Yandain Hago, Stella Martin. These are the Kake people. We call ourselves the Bay people. We have different names within that. There's Wasi Nedi, and we're Saguedy People. At first, we thought we shouldn't take any of your time. Back in the late 1800s, our people decided to embrace the Western civilization, and we destroyed everything we had. Those few elderly people that were left in Kake carried on our tradition until we've come to this point where perhaps Ronald can dance. I've never seen my aunt or I haven't danced either. We have another one back there, Clara Wilson. You must be back there someplace. Claire is another aunt of mine. I have a sister back there. Christine, I'm doing this for a purpose. Alice Bennett, where are you, Alice? Where are you, Alice? These are Kake people. I might be missing some people, but we're going to call on the rest of the Kake people eventually to stand up at least where you are after a while. We promise the next time there's a celebration, we'll be there to perform, even if it's to sing 4 verses of I Love You. We will be there. We have only one Chilkat blanket in Kake to my knowledge. I've asked Rosita to find me a Chilkat blanket so that we can own one on our side in Kake. There are other things that happened, but we actually embraced religion and we let all our heritage go. And I'm happy to say that we are working on it. I'm sorry that Mitchell Martin isn't here. Mitchell was in the hospital at Anchorage and couldn't be here. Mitchell was involved in teaching our Tlingit language to our young people again. And you know, I have a broken Tlingit, but I never speak it at home, you know, when I should, and as a result, my children don't understand Tlingit now, and I don't think Stella talks Tlingit at home, and at least I never talked to my brother Bob in Tlingit. But we have a lot of people, you know, and you know, if we could get ourselves together, maybe we can do some beautiful things that happened here, like the Huna and Angoon and the Haines and Tlukwan people did. We sat back there with nothing but envy, you know, at all the beautiful costumes that you folks have, when ours is all gone and we have to rebuild it. I see some people sitting over there. Jackie, I just now looked at you. Jacqueline, come on up here. All the Kake people, would you come up? There must be more. Harold Martin. Harold is our children. Harold lives here in Juneau. There must be some more Kake people. We have a lot of children in the crowd. We have a lot of children in the crowd that will want to come up here. Billy James, where are you? Martha and Billy James, are you here? I guess they're not here. We have children in the crowd too. Donald Williams. Maybe he's not here. Donald Williams has been in the accounting department of Tlingit Haida for 10 years now. All of Ronald John's children. Our children from Cape Fox, Martha Shields, and all our grandchildren over there. We're proud of you. If you would come up here and stand with us, we'd appreciate it. Jolene Skeek's here in the crowd someplace. We have one grandmother in the hospital. She's 104. How old is her? Our grandmother's 104 years old. She's in a nursing home. Her name is Elizabeth James. And so we're very happy, and we can get some of our culture from her. Martha Shields is the counterpart of our family. The story goes that after the Great Flood, our family, some of our family, came out and settled at Cape Fox. Then over the generations, they moved back north again. And eventually, they recognized Kake again, and they moved there. I saw an Asavita girl sitting over there. I hope you're not ashamed of me. Oh, my sister Pat is out there. I suppose she wanted me to call on her. She's married to my brother-in-law, Antioquia. I don't know where she is. She's right here someplace. You have to come up with that Eskimo costume you have on. Please come up. I'll give you $5 after everybody leaves. Our tribal chief, which is something we really don't have, but our elder, our family has really been blessed. In my estimation, this is a true story. This is my sister, Roger. He never believes me. Her name is Pat, and I want you to leave her alone. We're very, very fortunate to have an elder who is the head of our Saguedy people. I have a terrible memory, and I don't remember his Tlingit name well enough to say it. His name is Jimmy George.
William White Sr.
Okay. Somebody said Bill White Sr. Willie White Sr.? Okay. Where are you? Atchitan. Jimmy George must be almost 90 years old. is 92 years old. I have to bow to Jimmy. When he wants to talk, I have to stand back and let him talk. Is Billy James in the house? Richard Newton in the house?
Billy James is his uncle.
Okay. Okay.
Pastor, his name I'm from Emmerdimmer, Cape Fox.
Okay. Okay. Margaret Tillman, you have to come up here. Okay. Am I leaving anybody else out? Okay. Okay. My great uncle Judson Brown. Hago. Kapshidaki Kasagut. George Lewis, are you here? There you are. Okay. We even have a large Tsimshian family in Kake now. One of our boys married a Blandoff girl. We also have Kake people that ended up in Metlakatla, the Orr family. I'll bet you didn't know that. We have some Kake people that ended up being called the Inmans. George Inman, a famous basketball player one time. Ira Booth. We won't let you talk, Ira. Come on up. Okay, Ira was waiting to be called already. Okay, maybe I should let Ronald say a few words, and then we'll let our old-timer get started here. And after they get through, we're the killer whale people. The last time my grandmother came to Kake from Juneau, Mrs. Annie Johnson, Stella Martin's mother, I gave a small dinner for her in my home because I was glad to see her come home. And she said that when she was coming into Kake, she was coming to Keat Ani, the town of the killer whales, is the way she put it. After Jimmy George gets through, we want all the killer whale people to come up here. We don't want the stage to collapse first, so we'll let Ronald talk and then Jimmy. Ronald?
Thank you, Clarence. Clarence. Kanik, Saguedy Ohan, Ka Hootsnach Suhasiti. Ja, Pichtach, just the Corona, Kadawa, what? Kishtak Okahat Kude, just the Ho. Aya, they Kanik, the Achtak Chang, Aya Kanik, Ziak, 104 years old. They supported he. At the great Haya, Chahoa, Kehashat. Aya Aka Kosinikia, Akahanat Gatsia, Ketchikan Tianaka. Adaya Kosinik, Akaya, which are not the Portuguese. Ahak the Gatsaya, Akehauti, Aya Kanikia, Kake. Aya ia a hauligas ia which it the kind koyo the zikha tesla di sa pakak da kwa sa isak sa ti you oya ia te kwete you kind koyo the zikha ta khuge dash katnik akatseo akte a de shitan ya de khaya khatsiti ya engunda isha saya ya da ya ish Took Posti, Sishikteado, Isheado, Katsuya Yakitina Nach, Achlich Koya, Uskadoha, Ayasi Ach, Yat Adanaki, Yat Ai, that Achlich Koya, Ya. Ach kusti a du skate cody a the keen la khoye la khate khositi kocha ya an khao jesa ha ya akhun istiqonai khati ya atkahin ya hajikati atkahin an how she khate ya khatati khatia akhyatke Dachnach ayati a chayetke napneit hasiti Edward John Yudo sa klinachati a to keep for Leonard John yai that Assembly of God preacher hasiti a dit the chait ha kayuni ya at kahini na nach ayat the katka achtuk enut kakashik motahan kao Jesu Tesli Nayat, about 5 days ago, every year, Takatagoya, Haika, Hadutan, Yuna Kitach, Ya Eskimos, Ayati, Aleuts. The Kadede on Kine Ayak, Uskanach, Yakta H, Yak Ade Kine Ayak, Atkahini, Nach Adayo. Ayo Ohan Adeha de Hucheyatach to represent Southeast Alaska, not only Juneau, the whole Southeast Alaska. Aya representative Sayek, Achi Nayo, Achesahat Hotoatin, Ya Akhana Akhoha. Thursday night Aechositi Juneau, Kake, the Kake Utin Housiti. Akhun Akewati, Tom Jackson, Evans, Kawahai, the cut. They said 3,000 people here for Yukana, a southeastern representative to see. I am going to choose you the clearance, just a few words of she with the Yukana, you're going to choose.
Our next speaker is going to be our Jimmy George here. Since there's just a few of us and everybody had 3 hours, we're going to take only 5.
Hashkatnike hatago ayaka kwanik kayi hancho yatikine chuyeweni kaudia hagi hancho jinkat 1,000 kakijin had kijin 1,000 jet 15,000 ye kwat aka on Washakuya. Akaye kawa haji teo ach a sushada. Hakwe o kinda jawaik Hositin. Ya Ishasane Jaik Udosak Shatlakat Udosak at Enaha at each at Hacho good Kaju doair Kudoahu. At that Kayak I can chance go to the yek to get out is the Hadosho, one man is go shook, Hak Oseo Kate, getting it on it. Yahin ya shakatit, getting it on it. Aya shed the hen hour. Yisiku, Testa Hostin, Chak, you are the Wahinda, Kadek to Tlehin at Tugu. Shed it Hinta, Yewa, Kajiatin, ya quick eote. Ya quick en at here at Hatsuk Hajote. Akaya, Kate, O Kaya, quick eote, ya quick eo. Ya dagen hana gena at akoaya kas at kaya so at hast du wo hast du ja is an yan aya hoot gekhoset he Tlingit gut scho ge dat geteen goed kade jo te gewoon ya ku yike ti akoaya ya hinda kete studio kas atha kaya kate ya kate was ko awasha ajo tele stu khadu ho to goed to goed as de dag wow te kete hote ya tsagoik yish hido sak Ja, schau. Hoe de zachte keer, ja, de zachte trouw, tagwa. A shark. Tayo a shark you kokadie. A kawa, ugu toka. Ja, ish.
He's talking about how our people began to migrate back after the great flood. We divided into two groups. One group went overland and one went on boats. The group that went overland were destroyed by different things, animals and lack of food. And those that went on the boats that had dogs kept predators away from them. We ended up in a place called Hudbe, back, and it's called Tsagwa. It's the haven of the seal. And he said, some of the places up in the mountain, we have our marks in those places. We also stopped at a place called Chayik, our father's place.
Aya, kochtasa, ya hin, ya ohanhas, ya kenk eotea. Takakeo utlisaya, yatakka. Stakrin udosak hin, akaya, akeaote. Aya, tetlak, tagoyak, yashkak patnik. Aya tetlak kaikaote, yahin, tetlasa, Ketsawa Kati, ya Katsik eote. Aya, ye to sekuya ik adeti. Ajayat Kaudoana, Kochte, Gude Kochte, Hagach Lagatse, Utkan, Dekina. The cat Kake ako, Kake ako, Yeoha in Hasite. I had at 8 now, Chickets. You sit a Kanahanda Kayakat. Yeah. Yahin. A Taida one other. At 8 now, Sagat. Aya kaya takhli nakhasute ya hashawan ya taqwede pasatiye asudishan asat kriyawa ek kriyat yeah akak asudawachin yes to shakao yushakato awastihiyad wasak yaktushi yusad wasak yashaw sane akaya dakasayam tak.
When they came to the glacier at the Stikine River, the glacier had covered the river, and the river was flowing under. And they didn't know what they were going to do. Finally, 2 elderly women from the family volunteered to float down under the glacier. And the story goes that they tied a couple young branches on top of their heads to see if they could go down underneath.
Dagus got the takna go ket kawashi Shakadi Tlingit khana go ke kawashi the daga khasatak aide yawashuk the host Akawataush tinatas katagan aida daga shuk kot yasit Nasek what half a mile yekakliu yet eight tatas to sin a kanana hawayet khas siwa kokosit kanach chaye khak uskadach siwayat ewa anach takasushi kut atayinach akawas shukautle khiu Hast du شيء تاي نخات قتلهاش يا تك
When they were going under the iceberg, they began to sing a song, he says. And he's going to sing a little bit of the song later on, but they began to sing a song of farewell because they didn't know whether they were going to come out or not on the other side.
Ay naktakatlet hashaya akaya ke kaoshi to shakadich ay nakhakat katli hashyo chahaji o ayashe ya takloide hasate Akaya yakukte yakukte jesaya kenachate awa ya khone tu tikhi tets sohane tiage inkhanik totkan dekina totkhukhe hatte yagaw stakrinik nachya klagat.
We weren't alone coming down the Stikine River. He said that we also had Tsimshian people with us and the Haida people.
Akaya duik hakte akachta khowach awo atu good. What ikka Akao tatuasa doasade, ev doasa, sitka, doasa.
When everybody got aboard the boats again, there was one man that wouldn't come down off the iceberg. He kept running back and forth, and so they gave him a name. And it's called Sitka. Sit is iceberg.
Ya kikhaada ya qayik yahin Kake ayaka, the cut ayaka, Yakago aya, Yakago to take. Aka, as to show the Hanekati, Kawas, Kaus, where could they say to a tea? Ahoya to San to Kayak, Kayana de, to Kayakina de. Outkantoa, Anet Iron, Yudawasa. Taklawede Katke air, Taklawede Kat air, Kat. The Chaka toast to cut in. Youth quail, they go.
He claims that the family heads were being asked by their people, which way shall we go? Some went towards Yakutat, and others went to the south. And he said the Anet Island was Saguedy country at the time.
Yeah, you should clear to go. Akawa Ohanka, Kita way a quick Satan with the Gech. Gan Kakidi. Ach, Guneha, Goya. You go that cake out to a she. Yes, yeah, you take her. You go. Keep go. The Hwasa dash to the nook. You go. Take out the kid. Yanda wada kwaya. Oya has to hoon is and then a quay shake. What else to what there? You go. You go. Kayakan Kakidi.
Okay, one of the treasures that we kept was the killer whale. The killer whale was made, and we have a killer whale drum, and we have a killer whale post.
Ach, da kwel jachin. Kikhan ke do sak ya thuki. Akadaw sa team. Tikate. Haki. Akaya kaya katachanach to katachanach to. Akaya to jene kaku kahit kte the deyakta.
The first place they stopped, he said, was Eliza Harbor, on the inner side of Admiralty Island, down towards the southern end. They decided it was a beautiful place, and they decided to settle there temporarily.
Yanasas neawa, what take tago, I sute, Yakawa out the Tilak Isha. Gan Kakidi cock have the tit, yik. Gan Kakawak Akwakit. I asked Akutits. Yadada, the Chiniach, I do what, the Kayad, the Gushach, Yatiad, Yakautlika, Hoot. You know what Ayesha, Yakak, the horses, or te. You know what the Shayada out the ha, Yakit. Akawa Haskasate, Hasayadana Huete. Yakita, they at you to the Ada Deskasate. Gashuch a Anik. Tellosain Katin. Shikwaye, Yashi, Shiko the Taho.
while we were living in Eliza Harbor, a great storm occurred, and the killer whale, which our people prized, had carved, began to break up. Its flippers broke off. The elderly women began to weep for the loss of this great treasure. And the first song about the killer whale was thus composed: "Why didn't you just stay home where you came from?"
Ja, de ouwe. Oh, na, Kake, anak Jusatana, Nahawa, Yagachtahawa, Wakit Gao. Jinkat thousand Kakijin, Ye Koat Akaya, Yadamina, Yahunke. Aka Yeka, Stakuniko, Aya, Yate. Jusatana, Wakada Achawa Yekwaka Ook sanetjie kaya gund kaya heen gaat hè. At ook sanetjie ja heen gaat hè. Als je kocht, hoe ze het heet zo, dat Janneet, ach ja, ze kaya ik ga is als wat Stalking nature, just we go. Ja, dan kijk go daar zie je. Go. Jink had 1000 kitchen. Shana kijk, je go. Ja, ga je. Ja, ga je zeker je. Oh, dia hune ah he. Oh, dia hune ah he. Oh, dia hune ah he. Oh, dia hune ah ya. This was God. Kodea, Adam saya kati, kagantan kasati, ishagono, an ishan Daniel's kawa, sure, kid go, kagan kakide.
The last dance was the killer whale drum song. The killer whale drum was so priceless that our people decided to carry it overland rather than to take a chance of a boat tipping over or getting lost in a storm. And so the song was about the drum song, and he said, we're not completely prepared, but we're doing the best we can. We apologize personally for not having our dancing gear to give you a proper performance.
Yeah, then come there. It is goes. The section next. The way that the chant is a tea. It is goes so is a Daniel's car. Sure. Yeah, Jink got 1000 Caucasian Shana Kake go. Is a Daniel's car. Sure, yeah. Ja, kost on it, they cooked us tunda tea.
We don't have any dancing gear for another reason. This isn't what he's talking about. But I need to tell you that even though my chief is 92 years old, he still likes to travel in the country of the women. He pretends he's feeble so that a lady can carry his arm and walk him down the street. I noticed Judson's starting to get that way too. They pretend to stumble until some young girl grabs them and the girl can't get away once they get a hold of them. Mr. George just returned from the lower 48. We have a hat. We have other costume. They're all in Angoon. Because he just came back from down below, this is the only way we can appear before you.
Ja, good. Ja, dat weet ik dat gaan. Zo ik constatine aya. Ja, dat gaat. Ja, gewoon ach toch sagoon constatine. Kid is aan ke. Aya test constatine. Wat je zo toch constatine. Ja, dat gaat. Ja, dat gaan ja. Ja, kijk goed. Ja, dat.
Kingisti yekhatua saakling git khainach.
Kijk eens wat ja, je gewoon een kleka. Ja. Als de seconde en koudt ja. Toch je het kreeg als het hier ja gaan naar het kaart dat gaan krijgen zoals het ja dat als de seconde ja kan ik ja dat ja zijn get aan kijk uit kaas ja als het licht goes. Ach ja, ja, twee graden daar ga je nou de gas, daar goed is als dat toch hitte, die uurtje geen, ja kiet.
We have someone is talking about all of the grandchildren. David Katsik is a grandchild of the family. We have some other grandchildren here. We have a Taktein among us also, one of our children. He's the son of Pete Martin at Kake. Harold, come on forward, let the people see you. Shanku Kedi Daya Sakude do Asak to Ish. What do they call you in Tlingit? Harold Martin is our son. His father is also almost 100 years old, and he's in the hospital. Otherwise, we'd have him here showing him off to you. Thank you very much, Harold.
Ja, kindernaat. Just gaat de gaaien. Ik zie hoe de aan goed. Just gaat de ga. Tussen gewoon ja. Je kan gaat. Ja, aan ik. Je kiet. De kou shoe. Was het in gedachten soort he. Dat is gezegd he. Ach kohout lekker. Aan de Ajaya Hausikas Sagwa Gwa Awagwa the Singit Akoyo the Zeo Kaju Sagwa de used to Sago Koya Yahon Kri Yakiktaha Hasaya Awahas Akaya Tinaya Jak is het een dag oud dan je dat hina. Hinde ik had de kook. Ja go ik dag. Arkaya als de schade henne, hoe goed.
Okay. He said when we moved, we had the copper shields. I think one was presented or shown here tonight. We had copper shields. And I think what he was saying was that they threw some of the copper shields overboard to make the place we were going to call home more valuable again.
Ja, hen, dat kan de kokoya, je na goda, ik ga, dat is de chiefo. De awe. Tachachad na nana teje na chine. Ja, gauw de taan. Ja, is de chiefo. Akanik. Ach, ik kochte haar aan, nee, kochte haar podcast. Kiekte. Ijen tajikach tonak. Ijen tajikach tonak. Yaki. Ja, tenahin de kaugo kojawa. Saguedy City. Yaki as kohachitaha. Kiyeti Yusudawasa. Ja, Saguedy. Ja, da, ja, kijk. Ja, wat ga ik?
Okay. Our tribe became known as the Saguedy People because we ultimately settled in the haven of the seal over in Hood Bay. We ended up calling ourselves Kayedi over in Kake, the people of the bay. We know we're taking a lot of time and some of these people are getting tired, and we want to bring someone in to give a name to. My uncle Ronald wants to give a name from our people. He wants to give a name of one of our elderly people who passed on. And I don't know his name again. What's the other guy's name? Kalan? Kalan, would you come up? Kalani. Kalani is from Hawaii. My Uncle Tom has a beautiful voice. Fortunately, he's getting old, and I can replace him later on. But he likes to sing, and I think if he were here, he'd probably try to sing a love song with Kalani. He's from Hawaii. I think that Ronald John should give the name that he wants to give to him.
Ya ka kage ye na kaudi ya tunake has ya Hawaiian Island kadach hele guna kech ohan ate hakte ye ya kit hatli koxiti has sulta an ujaudia has tu shakun o ya akhnaqasa du khune khati ya akhun kho has kayaki has. In a few years, I came to head to Hosatin. I had to say, I had to work siku on the other to on it, Kotini. I got to Saku, Hakone Koziti, a Hunhokusati Tag, Uedo Asak, Yahun Tag, Tag, Tag. You're my brother. Praise the Lord.
Thank you very much.
The name Tsok is a small seal. We have lots of names like that. We have another one called, a very famous name called Ganuk. It says it looks like a little log. Whenever the baby seal is sleeping on the kelp, it's easy to mistake him for a little log. My name is even sillier. It's called Katsik. It means people are always seeing the little seal. You want to say something too?
Ke ku nei au me ka haa he nui, no ko loko mai kai I kono I mai iau. E hui no hoi me o ko mau la hui e kolu. Ka la hui nui no hoi o na Tlingit, na Haida, a me na Tsimshian. Iau no hoi he o he malihini mai ke kahi aina ma mauloa, a he mea kupai anaha iau. E hoi pu me o ko, a na o ko na hoi I ho hano mai iau, I mea la no ko la hui. No leila, ke mahalo nui lo ia o ko wapau, ia oe e ke kupuna a me o ko ka la hui, o ko a pau loa. I find it difficult to find the right words to express my enormous gratitude to all of you for your unbounded aloha to me, a stranger from far away. What I have experienced here over the last 3 days and nights is a love, is a feeling, is an acceptance and a hospitality which is truly Hawaiian and Polynesian. And I only wish that all of my people back in Hawaii could have had the same experience that I have had, to come to know you on a person-to-person basis and to share many of your songs and your dances, your speeches, your food, your warm hospitality, and your inner beauty. And well, perhaps I could render a short chant. We Hawaiians like to sing and we like to chant. And I'm not used to performing in front of 500 people. So you'll pardon me if my voice is a little nervous. But I'd like to do for you a short chant of aloha. It's a chant of welcome. When we see someone approaching from a distance, we call out to them, aloha, aloha, aloha mai, 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 komo mai, mai. And this is a chant that says, fragrant is the hala and the lehua trees. Ours is a home full of fragrance. You bring with you a special fragrance, the fragrance of love. It is my desire that you come unto me. Let us be together and share aloha. And aloha means love. O nau ka hala me ka lehua, he hale lehua nui anaka noe. O ka unoia e anoi nei, e li nei hoi o ka hiki mai. Hiki mai no oe, hiki puno me ke aloha.
let you see all of the people of Kake. Charlie, you're sitting down. You shouldn't be down there. You're going to pay for it if you don't show up here. We appreciate greatly also, like the rest of you, having an opportunity to sit down and enjoy each other, to sit down and enjoy the beautiful things you did for us, from Metlakatla to Yakutat. We from Kake, we don't have any dancing. We promise you, I'll say it one more time, at Celebration 83, we will perform also. Thank you very much, my friends.